Welcome back to the best goddamn channel on all of YouTube. Presented by yours truly to get the best entertainment of your day. And obviously, if you're watching this, you're such a smart and beautiful person. And those not watching are obviously dumb, deaf, stupid, blind, or broke. Let's just say it. Let's just be honest. And if you're those things, you're obviously ugly. So I know you watching out there are not that. And if you run into those people out there, you just go up to them and tell them that you're better than them, and you know it! Welcome back to the Party Package! My name is Owen, and welcome back to the show. Today we are covering the New York Islanders, a team that has had basically the same identity for the last few years, a team that has had playoff success until this last year, where they didn't make it to the playoffs. They got edged out by the Washington Capitals and missed the playoffs. So my question today is, what happened? What happened to a team that consecutively went to the conference finals and had strong battles against the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions and 3 years in a row Stanley Cup finalists, and went the distance with them in each series with the Tampa Bay Lightning? How did the Islanders fall from that to this? And I think I've come up with, I think what everyone knows, but I've come up with the answer. But first, let's talk about the pros about this team. What is the best part about this team? What makes the Islanders great at what they do? And I think it's exactly the reason why they're good in the playoffs, but they don't really shine in the season. And that is that their defense their defense isn't like Cale Makar, Roman Josi getting points defense. This is a defense that is really good at shutting down another team and causing them not to be able to score goals. Between Pelech and Polak, I love that name, the double P line. You got Romanov now added to the line. Now you've got Noah Dobson, this great rookie. He isn't signed, neither is Romanov yet, so I guess things are still kind of iffy there. But Dobson and Romanov, I think that's going to be that great. And Salo and Mayfield. I heard about Mayfield. I don't know about Salo. I think he's a Finnish prospect, maybe. I just going off the top of my head by his name being Salo. This defense is amazing. This is the best defense to shut down another team. I think not in the whole league, but this is strong. And it's all backed up by their tandem goaltender, Sorokin and Varlamov. Amazing tandem, two Russian goaltenders that can really shut down a team from scoring goals, and especially with that defense in front of them. This is a hard team to score goals against, which is exactly what led me to the answer to my question. Why do they miss the playoffs? What is the problem with this team? And this is a team that is like the Columbus Blue Jackets in my mind, is that I think the Islanders are the definition of the playoffs-built team. This is not a regular season team. This is a playoffs team. Because I'm of the proponent that I think, the question's always defense or offense wins championships, right? I think the best defense is a great offense, and I think that's exactly the problem with the New York Islanders and why a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning is so successful, is that the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Avalanche, these teams shut down other teams from scoring on them because they're always shoving the puck down the throat of the other team. They aren't playing in a way where they're going to stop the other team from shooting. A team like the Islanders is built in a way that is welcoming the other team to come in and try to score, and they're not going to, but we're not going to score either. And that's what led me to it. So I went some digging, and they are terrible at scoring goals, but they're amazing at stopping them. So right from looking at last season, they are 24th in goals for. They are 24th in goals for. Just to give you an idea, is that they're in the same territory as the Montreal Canadiens and the Chicago Blackhawks. That is what type of territory they're in when it comes to goal scoring. When it comes to goals against, however, they are in 10th ranked in goals against. They have 231 goals for. They have goals for. They scored 231 goals last year. To give an idea of what that territory is like, is the teams that are surrounded them in the playoff hunt. So the team that beat them out, the Washington Capitals, who came in the 5th wild card spot, is they score 200. No, I'm sorry. The Washington Capitals score 275 goals. The Islanders score 231. That is a 34-goal difference. And to give another idea, the team right below the New York Islanders is the Columbus Blue Jackets, trying to play for a playoff spot, and the Blue Jackets had 262. Actually, I was wrong. That's a 44-goal difference, and 262 is a 31-goal difference. I don't know what I was talking about there. If that doesn't explain to you what type of play they're doing wrong, but you would think, okay, but they're pretty good in goals against, right? They're 10th. Teams that are above them are like the New York Rangers, because they have like Shesterkin and Georgiev last year that is able to shut down teams. Like, that's the type of teams that in the Carolina Hurricanes. They're in that type of territory. So you'd think, okay, well, at least they're stopping goals. But here's the problem, is that they are a -6 in goal differential last season. That -6, even though you're in 10th for goals against. Every team above them is a plus team, and teams below them are plus teams. They are a -6. So obviously the problem is goal scoring. So you take a look at the lineup. Now, you got 40-point and 50-point players, really only 40-point and 30s. You got Nelson and Barzal, the center guys. Those guys, Barzal, in my opinion, could be an absolute amazing player. The problem with him and the problem with this team and their points is that they aren't building to have a offensive team. They need that offense to shoot against the other team. And the whole point is that if the other team turns the puck around and goes back to your end, this team is able to stop it regardless. The problem is that they're allowing teams go down and shoot against them. And that is the issue at hand right there. You already have this guy won the speed competition, beating out Connor McDavid, whose main trait is his speed. You have Matt Barzal, who's an absolute stud. He's got all the skill in the world. He's got speed. He can shoot. He can dangle. This guy has all the necessary parts to his lineup. But the problem is that you have guys like Anders Lee, Josh Bailey, Palmieri, Parise. Like, these are not players to build up an offensive powerhouse team. Take a look at Lee. Take a look at Bailey. Take a look at Nelson. Take a look at Palmieri. These are not offensive guys that I think of. When I see these guys, I think of like the strong, not big and strong, but bigger, like solider guys that are there to play a physical game. And that is the main problem, is that this team they need to change that. If they could flip their offense around, and instead of an Anders Lee, just an example, not that what this would happen, but just an example, switch Anders Lee and you get like Tomas Hertl instead, who's one of my people that I come back to. Not that he's going anywhere from the Sharks, but just an idea of that type of player. You have, instead of Anders Lee, you have like Tomas Hertl. Instead of Bailey, you have a Timo Meier. These guys are actually going to go and score points and play hockey. These guys are not this is the main root of the problem, is that they can't score goals, and they need guys that actually can score goals and play hockey. The new age of hockey the scoring has been going up. You guys got like Austin Matthews now, who can score 60 goals in a season. Goal scoring is skyrocketing right now. The New York Islanders are a team that would have probably won 7 Stanley Cups at the beginning of the 2010s, like in 2009 to 2015 range. This team right here. The problem is that we are now in 2022, where goal scoring is the name of the game, and they are doing everything wrong in getting that done. Even though they have talent like Wahlstrom, like Barzal, Pajot had a breakout season a few years ago, Beauvillier. Like, you got some guys, especially Barzal, but your team is built to not score goals, and the team is built built to play defense. It's like when you're signing like a prenup or something for a marriage. It's like you're expecting your team to not play and score goals. That's the way I think about it, is that the team is they're signing a prenup, basically. They know they're not going to score, and they just got to reverse everything they've done. So that's the best way I can say it. So what do they need to get to the playoffs? Because obviously this is the type of team that does really well in the playoffs. I mean, it's the same team that is gone basically every year. I mean, even some guys got better, such as like a Pajot. Like, they've got a couple guys who are getting better, who are young and growing. And this team just needs, in my opinion, to flip around. I think the defense and goaltending are perfect. But if you could switch around instead of Bailey and Andersley and Palmieri, you got to get some actual goal scorers. Get like a Verana or something, like some speed, some skill, and goal scoring to the lineup. And I think this team could make it to the playoffs. But then, in my opinion, I feel like that might also hurt the team because they're built in a way to be that defensive, hard team to score against. And if you sacrifice like a player like Andersley and Josh Bailey, you might be losing that offensive defense, the defense that comes from the offense, and that might change up the team. So in my opinion, this team, if this team can make it to the playoffs, they're a contender. But they got to figure out a way to get back there. And just by looking at this year, how teams are getting even better, how the Capitals don't seem to really be getting any worse, it's going to be a really hard road for this Islanders team to make it. So I guess that's really all I have to say this time. So make sure you pick up your free subscription down below by hitting that red subscribe button. If you like this video, please leave a like. Don't leave a dislike. You can go down below to the comment section. Leave any opinions, rants, tangents, or other sorts of comments, concerns, suggestions, reviews, or other types of feedback. And tell me, do you think the Islanders are going to break through and get to the playoffs again, or do they stay outside and stay on the outside looking in, not on the bottom of the league? But thank you for watching. Till next time, I have been Owen the Party. Too sweet, and ta-ta for now.